Hello, welcome to The Week in Review, a weekly program where we bring to you major stories that made the headlines in the week. I'm your host, Princess Ken Ochama. Do stay with us. Welcome back. Monday was the day for the protest to free Nnamdi Kanu, and several cities in the country were locked down. The streets of Enugu were deserted on Monday, reenacting the old days of Monday sit-at-home that held sway in the southeast for years. Our team of correspondents that went round the Enugu metropolis reported that commercial and social activities were almost grounded as residents identified with the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest, spearheaded by human rights activist Omoyele Sowore. Raymond Mbata brought us the details.
From Abapanike to Obiago, Ogui Road, New Haven, Independence Layout, Abani Road, and indeed all parts of Enugu metropolis and beyond, the story was the same. Deserted streets, closed markets, filling stations, shops, schools, banks, and government offices under lock and key and devoid of normal Monday hustle and bustle. Some school children and essential service workers who came out had to return to their homes as there were no vehicles to convey them to their destinations. Those who wanted to go to their places of business also had to return home or just loiter around the streets. Some youths found an ample opportunity to turn the streets to football pitch for their popular sports because the vehicles gave way. The ever busy Abapanike market was a shadow of itself. One of the market officials, Chukwebuka Eke, explained why the market is on lockdown.
Since yesterday, last week, we heard about there going to be a protest in the market. So I came out this morning, everywhere is dried up because of the protest, but there's nothing happening around. It's just that everywhere is quiet. The market is not functioning the way it used to be ordinary days. So since morning I came out, everywhere is dried up like this. So we are about to be home. I don't know whether it's going to continue throughout this week, but what they said is Monday, Tuesday, there is going to be a protest.
At New Haven, a few police patrol teams were seen stationed at strategic points, maintaining a calm but watchful presence. Authorities had urged calm and advised residents to remain law-abiding. The message that played out from the streets of Abuja, Enugu, and the southeast is clear. The time has come for Nigerian authorities to find a lasting solution to the issues surrounding Nnamdi Kanu's detention in a manner that will restore peace and stability to the southeast region and the country at large. In Enugu, Raymond Mbata for Signature TV News.
Abuja commuters and workers on their way to their offices in the early hours of Monday ran for their lives as police operatives fired canisters of tear gas around the Unity Fountain and Transcorp axis of the Shehu Shagari Expressway. The police operatives were stopping all human and vehicular traffic to prevent protesters demanding the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu from gaining access to the three-armed zone where the Presidency, National Assembly, and the Supreme Court are domiciled. Correspondent Nasir Usman reported on it.
Sowore and some Nigerians are demanding for the release of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. I am standing at Ekwa, also known as Nitel Junction, in the nation's capital. And as you can see, the police have barricaded the three-armed zone and the road that is leading to the Federal Secretariat, and also firing tear gas at protesters.
Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, since its abduction from Kenya in June 2021. Since then, there have been agitations and pleas for his release. For some of Monday's protesters demanding the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they were only expressing their frustration with his continued detention.
As you can see, there are tear gas everywhere, okay, on innocent citizens who just are out here to make a simple demand. So we have come to a point where one cannot even express himself. Our demand is very simple. Release him because court have already discharged and acquitted him. That is just the simple demand we have this morning. We are not here to flex muscle with the government. We are here to make a demand that since court has acquitted this guy, release him and let him go.
They are holding him now for nothing. Personally, I didn't see any crime that the man committed. He did not commit any crime at all. Other people that committed crime like Boko Haram and the rest of them, they will free them. Take them abroad and say that whatever, rehabilitation or whatever. And they are paying them salary. You understand? They even have a repentant Boko Harams. So why are they holding him there? For nothing's sake. They are just trying to cause trouble. Honestly, they should release him.
I came all the way from Ibadan down to this place for this protest because we know how this protest is very important to us, to our nation, for the youth, for development and everything in our. It means a lot to our people. But so far, so good. The protest is not going our way at all because arriving here, we meet what we did not expect at all. We met police and they were trained tear gas and everybody were displaced. And you see, the life of my friends have been picked by the military people, police people, and they drove them away.
You can't tell me that Nnamdi Kanu is being subjected to all this inhuman treatment, and some other people are going free, moving around free in this country. Can you imagine some drug dealers are being given pardon, and henchmen and bandits are being given pardon? But just because Nnamdi Kanu uses his platform to say, let my people go. Biafra is something that you cannot sweep under the carpet. It's quite unfortunate that it's happening to we Igbos.
For many Abuja residents who were caught up in the gridlock arising from the protest, it was an unnecessary sad situation.
We are stranded. We can't even go to work. Most of us left our home with the little money we have at hand. With the little money we have at hand, that probably when we get to work, probably we can even get IOU from our office. We can even get IOU from our office, but so we can use the money to go back home. But as it stands now, we are stranded. We can't even go home. We can't go to work. This United Junction here, they shot tear gas, and not just the tear gas, because many of us, while we are running, some even fell down and injured because of the harshness of that tear gas. Then tears have been running through my eyes for like more than 15 minutes. Even the hotness, the thing passed through my throat. It was very hot, as if I want to vomit or so.
The protest this morning is hectic. People are just suffering, coming from all the way from Maraba, coming to town. It's very hectic today. So we believe government should do something about this kind of protest. I'm not part of the protesters, but I believe whatever should be given to them should be given to them for peace to reign in the country.
We discovered that it was a big blow, and there is, I don't know, protests going around the country in respect of Nnamdi Kanu release and order, which is supposed to release the innocent man. So for that now I closed from work, but I couldn't go home because there was no road, no access road to my destination.
The Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest, spearheaded by activist Omoyele Sowore, kicked off in Abuja on Monday, even before the break of dawn, even as combined team of security operatives made effort to contain the protesters only within authorized locations.
From the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Nasiru Usman, reporting for Signature TV.
The Free Nnamdi Kanu protest in Abuja, the Nigerian capital, on Monday had left both protesters and commuters stranded. A number of the protesters, though upbeat, could not access any of the protest venues, which were effectively blockaded by security operatives. Correspondent Mwabweze Njoko covered the protests.
Let's go to Vega.
As the security operatives effectively blocked access to the Aso Rock Villa presidential offices, the National Assembly, and the Supreme and Appeal Court areas, the protesters, led by fiery human rights activist Omoyele Sowore, had slipped through the security cordon to confront the police in the police headquarters area of the Shehu Shagari Way. Last Friday, a federal high court had granted an order ex parte asking Omoyele Sowore and other organizers of the Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest to not organize or participate in the protest and to not take any protests to the Presidential Villa, National Assembly, and the Unity Fountain, which serves as Abuja's Freedom Square. To give effect to the court order, police operatives blocked access to the Three Arms Zone from the Nyanya Abacha Barracks axis, the airport axis, the Kubwa Mpape and Transcore Unity Fountain axis. The gridlock created by the security cordon created frustration among residents, workers, and commuters.
This is the axis that carries people from Ushafa, Wari, Duse into town. So that's 3 big communities, and people are heading to work in the morning. This is the reality.
The protest was planned as a peaceful pressure on the Nigerian government, whose detention of Nnamdi Kanu of the IPOB leadership since 2021 has been described as political, cloaked in criminal charges. From Abuja, Mwabozi Njoko for Signature News.
Meanwhile, the protest for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Anambra State received mixed reactions as residents of Awka, the state's capital, largely ignored the call for protests and sit at home as they went about their daily businesses. As early as 8 a.m., shops along major roads like Ifite, Aroma Junction, and Zix Avenue were open, with the streets bustling with vehicles and pedestrians. Filling stations, parks, and other establishments at the popular Aroma Junction were fully operational as at the time our correspondent visited the area. A trader identified as Francis Mordi expressed solidarity with the protest, but stressed that the protest is an Abuja affair. He said the continued detention of the IPOB leader, despite court judgments, is proof that right to freedom of speech is being disregarded in the country.
Many of Southeast people went to Abuja for the protest, so they are in solidarity. So many of them, according to the video I watched, I saw many of them, Southeastern, that moved to Abuja because of the protest. So they are in solidarity. That is not going on in Anambra State does not mean that they are not in solidarity. They are in solidarity because many of them moved to Abuja for the protest. I'm not happy with what's going on in Nigeria, and the young man is preaching about as in how Nigeria will be okay. He has not done anything wrong. He has a freedom of fighting for as a freedom fighter. There is a freedom you can fight to stay on your own. It's not I don't think it's a crime. I don't think it's a crime. The young man has not done anything wrong. If he has done anything wrong, let Nigerians come out and prove him wrong in the court.
The situation was, however, different in the commercial city of Onitsha and the industrial town of Nnewi, where residents completely shut down their businesses to identify fully with the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest. Unlike previous Mondays where limited movements were seen, despite the unofficial sit at home, there was a total absence of human and vehicular activity in both Nnewi and Onitsha, as the major highways, Onitsha Enugu, Onitsha Asaba, and Onitsha Owerri roads were deserted. Banks, schools, hospitals, and government offices were closed, while roadside shops and markets also remained locked, with popular fast food outlets, which usually operate on Mondays, shutting their doors to customers. Although no physical protests took place in Onitsha and Nnewi, apparently due to the heavy presence of soldiers and military vehicles, residents still chose to remain indoors. Residents of Umuahia, the Abia State capital, also identified with the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu Now movement in solidarity with similar demonstrations held in Abuja and other parts of the country. Commercial banks, motor parks, and other business places were under lock and key, just as markets were all closed with a few empty keke napebs and private vehicles seen on the roads. Some of the protesters said people of the southeast are united in the call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and would do anything legally to make the federal government heed to the call. Some others criticize the federal government, accusing it of double standards, wondering why President Bola Tinubu decided to release people convicted for drugs and crimes, but refused to free Nnamdi Kanu, who is only fighting for the freedom of his people. They emphasize that their movement remains peaceful, as they did not come out to fight anyone, but to beg the federal government to obey court orders and release Nnamdi Kanu in the interest of peace and national reconciliation. From vibrant colors to bold expressions, creativity once again took center stage in Enugu as artworks were on display at the 2025 Life in My City Art Festival, Linka. At the event, the Enugu State government urged Nigerian youths to look inwards, explore their creativity, and see art not just as beauty, but a voice for change. Correspondent Chinemere Mikebuna gave the details.
The Life in My City Arts Foundation, popularly known as LIMCAF, has over 18 years remained Nigeria's most consistent platform for nurturing young artistic talents. Since 2007, the foundation has celebrated creativity and empowered thousands of young Nigerians through competitions, exhibitions, mentorship, and workshops. At the opening ceremony of the year's Top 100 Arts Festival held in Enugu, the State Commissioner for Tourism, Ugochi Madueke, urged Nigerian youth to channel their energy into creativity and innovation. She said art goes beyond aesthetics, describing it as a powerful means of expression and national pride.
I encourage them to be creative. I encourage them to dare to join, to dare to sing, to dare to be heard through art. I mean, it's a gift, and anybody who is an artist is blessed. So I encourage every youth out there to try, give it a try.
Program Manager of LIMCAF, Adora Ojungu, explained that this year's festival features 100 outstanding artworks selected from over 750 submissions nationwide. She noted that the works will be available for sale after the grand finale on Saturday, October 25th.
This is the opening ceremony for our grand finale. The theme is Can We Breathe? So usually this is a year-long festival that starts in January towards the end of the year. This year we received over 750 entries from young artists all over Nigeria. Every artwork here is up for sale. Unfortunately, we don't give it out until after the exhibition. If it's a winning work, you can't take it. So we encourage people to put their red tag, indicate interest. By tomorrow, you see all the price tags. So indicate interest and they are up for sale.
Art lovers were captivated by the diverse range of paintings, sculptures, and digital arts, each piece telling a story of identity, culture, and resilience.
I love art. I love art in every form. I love 3D art. I love oil on canvas. I love art. I've seen a lot of work that is inspiring me. I've seen the oil beauty, I've seen the charcoal, I've seen the water thread, I've seen, oh my God, it's awesome.
The highlight of the event was the ceremonial ribbon cutting, officially declaring the gallery open.
On this note, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to declare open the 2025 edition of the Life in My City Arts Festival. I hereby declare this open in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Guests, patrons, and government officials then took a walk through the works on display, appreciating the depth of talent manifested by young creatives. In Enugu, Chinemeremi Kebunam, Signature TV News.
More news coming to you after this break. Welcome back. Moving further, Southeast political figures and businessmen converged in Abuja over the week in a move towards redefining the economic fortune of the region. The initiative, driven by the Southeast Business and Investment Summit Group, was the first public step to set up a 200 billion naira fund. Correspondent Chimezin Zedima reports.
There were two former presidents of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria at the occasion, Anyim Pius Anyim and Ken Nnamani. There were also special advisors, governorship candidates, and a number of high government officials. That was how serious the Abuja event, a town hall towards the second summit, aimed at redefining the economic fortunes of the Southeast region. Both former senators cautioned against the business class going it alone. Senator Ken Nnamani was unequivocal. He advised that building trust between the business class and the government of the Southeast was the best way of aligning government policy to support the economic initiative and drive of the business community.
Our people, while we are accredited for being entrepreneurs in a large scale, we should also not ignore the effects of political decisions and our ability to get our people inside where decisions are made. It will help in all we have said so far.
Anyim Pius Anyim spoke in the same vein. He called on the Southeast governments to create the appropriate environment healthy for and attractive to investors, and also advised organizers of the Abuja event to take the Southeast governments along.
Nobody is coming to invest in the Southeast, even if he grew up in the Southeast, if the enabling environment to make his business profitable is not there. And it's government that will provide that environment. We must be sure that we put extra effort to commit our governments. It mustn't be federal. Our state governments to make the environment conducive for businesses to thrive.
Policy strategist and director of the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, Dr. Sam Amadi, who was a keynote speaker, laid out the success factors to drive the economic renaissance of the Southeast region. He called for a united and harmonized development agenda for the 5 states and standardized investment laws which will apply to business investments.
South is a single economic market. In fact, Southeast is the most positioned region in Nigeria without diluting our state sovereignty. These governors can converge so that all their regulatory regime are lawful. So that if you are licensed in Enugu, you have the deemed license to operate in Abakaliki, in Abia, in Owerri, and so on and so forth. That's number one. So we have to encourage our governors to create a common market like Obara did.
The Executive Secretary of SEBIS, Dr. Ifedi Okwena, while welcoming guests to the event, expressed worry about the dwindling fortunes of the Southeast economy, especially in the area of small and medium-scale enterprises. He said that the 200 billion naira fund was to address the easy-to-fix sections of the Southeast economy and attend to what he described as low-hanging fruits.
Where we are here is that we are starting a 7-city roadshow, town hall, to mobilize our people, to tell our people the urgency there is no better time than now. Let us go home. We're not asking us not to stay in Abuja or stay in anywhere, but give us 30% of whatever you have, invest it home. If you do that, Southeastern Nigeria will join the Dubais of this world.
The 100 billion naira fund is only first in a major move to raise over 3 trillion naira to give a push to the economy of the Southeast region and make it contribute to the overall national development. In Abuja, Chimizi Izedima reporting for Signature TV News.
As the world intensifies efforts toward ending poverty in all its forms, the Institute for Development Studies, University of Nigeria, Enugu campus, brought stakeholders together to deepen conversations and chart actionable paths toward poverty eradication. The event, held at the Mandela Hall of Golden Royal Hotels, Enugu, formed part of activities marking the United Nations International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. Correspondent Raymond Ken Mbata reported on it.
The 2025 Annual Colloquium on Poverty, organized by the Institute for Development Studies, provided a platform for scholars, development partners, and policymakers to exchange ideas under the theme, Working Together to End Poverty. Setting the stage for discussions was the director of the Institute for Development Studies, University of Nigeria, Enugu campus, Professor Ben Nwosu, who lamented the level of poverty in the country despite the country's abundant resources. Professor Nwosu therefore underscored the need for synergy and commitment among stakeholders to effectively tackle poverty and its root causes.
On why we are here today, we have gathered to address the question of poverty, which dominates development research and governance concern across the world. The challenges of poverty made the United Nations to declare the 17th of October every year as the World Poverty Eradication Day since 1992. It is a day to raise awareness and promote understanding of poverty in all its forms, reinforce global progress against the phenomenon, as well as reflect on the resilience of people living in poverty.
The head of programs at Action Aid Nigeria, Celestine Odo, expressed concern that poverty remains a major challenge in the 21st century despite global advancement. He emphasized that Action Aid continues to champion a human rights-based approach to development in 70 countries, pushing governments to prioritize poverty reduction.
Action Aid Nigeria is a member of Action Aid Federation, a global movement of people utilizing the human rights-based approach to eradicate poverty and engender social transformation across the world. We have footprints in about 70 countries in Africa, Asia, Europe, and the Americas. We work with people living in poverty, the poor, and the excluded. We started operation in Nigeria since 2000, and we work across the 6 geopolitical zones in the area of governance, women's rights, humanitarian, and so on.
Delivering the keynote address, Dr. Friday Ohuche, the chief economic advisor to the Abia State governor, dissected the reasons why many anti-poverty policies in Nigeria underperform. He cited corruption, poor policy implementation, and the failure of education as a transformative tool.
Now, there is a term we often use. We say eradicate poverty. Poverty may never be eradicated, because no country has completely put poverty apart. Even in America, there are still some poor people, although relatively defined. But poverty can be reduced. Reduced to the point that it no longer poses danger to economic stability. It no longer poses danger to social stability. And that is, I think that is the realistic goal we are pursuing.
Participants at the event also shared perspectives on how collaborative governance, citizen participation, and accountability can help change the poverty narrative in Nigeria.
I think that is apt. I think that this is the time, because Nigeria has been described as the poverty capital of the world. Nigeria, the statistics are not too rosy. More than 70% of Nigerians are said to be making less than $1.05 on a daily basis. And then the entire statistics from everywhere is not good. And that's why I say that this colloquium is apt, and it will help to put some document, some fact-check document in front of governments to guide what they are doing about poverty alleviation.
It's an institute dedicated to development research. Poverty is a major issue of development. We have adopted this day as one in which we have our annual flagship event, which is World Poverty Eradication Day. We annually hold it like this to explore issues of poverty, both globally and within our local context, Nigeria.
Current economic model whereby gradually all manners of subsidies are being removed, without proper framework to ensure, to ensure a kind of cushion for the people is not there. So that is not a good approach. Secondly, is also the increasing allocation to different sectors over time. Last year we had a public expenditure at the federal level of 27 point something trillion. This year, 2025, we are 54 point something trillion. So you can see, but at the same time, within this period, poverty is on the increase. So it's rethinking our allocation pattern. Are public expenditures really speaking to the needs of the people? The answer is no, because if it's really speaking to the needs of the people, poverty should have been decreasing.
The way out for them to alleviate themselves, they could go for petty trading. Okay? Somebody like me could help somebody to improve himself or herself with petty trading. The problem is that a lot of us are very lazy. People are lazy, begging, moving about without trying to help themselves. So I know that from today's enlightenment, that people will sit up and help themselves.
A panel discussion on governance, democracy, and the poverty paradox featured insightful contributions from Chika Mba, Cromwell Chibuzo, Nnamdi Odor Esima, Celestine Odor, and Professor Ike Obi, and was moderated by the president of Signature TV, Vin Martin Ilo. The forum ended with a call on governments at all levels, development agencies, and civil society organizations to move beyond rhetoric and adopt inclusive policies that leave no one behind. From Enugu, Raymond Ken Mbata for Signature TV News.
The Enugu state government has intensified its clampdown on criminal hideouts and structures linked to illicit activities across the state. The latest action was the demolition of a bungalow at Umuezo Konano in Nkanu West local government area, allegedly used as a detention camp by a notorious kidnapping gang. Correspondent Chinemremi Kebunam reported that the action is part of the Governor Peter Mba's commitment to ridding the state of crime and restoring peace to local communities.
The Enugu state government on Tuesday brought down yet another building linked to criminal activities. The bungalow at Umuezo Konano in Nkanu West local government area is said to have served as a base for kidnapping syndicates. Security operatives recently stormed the building, rescuing a kidnapped victim, while the prime suspect, identified as Igwenagu Obodo, and members of his gang fled the scene with gunshot wounds. Speaking during the demolition exercise, the chairman of Nkanu West West Local Government Area, John Obodo, said the operation underscores the government's resolve to enforce the state anti-kidnapping law, which empowers authorities to demolish any property used in committing crime.
I just got this information yesterday night, but before then, they kidnapped someone and brought that person to this house. The man was rescued, his vehicle recovered, and a lot of arms were recovered from this place. So we really thank God for this particular the government has demonstrated. Every community should be very mindful of people around them.
Obodo, who noted that the demolition will serve as a deterrent to other criminals, maintained that with the governor's investment in modern security technology, there would be no hiding place for offenders in Enugu State. Community members who witnessed the demolition described the suspect as an ex-convict known for terrorizing residents. They applauded the government's decisive action and called for sustained effort to keep the area safe.
Because any young boy who doesn't want to work to get money is want to steal or kidnapping. Oh my own, if to say that they can let them fire the boy, now kidnapping, let them fire the young guy.
In this boy, not to continue with this type of attitude, but he refused. See the result now. Last time, he came back from prison. They released him from prison.
They also commended Governor Peter Mba for equipping security agencies with logistics needed to execute such tough measures in the fight against kidnapping and other violent crimes. The councillor representing the ward, Uchenna Jidofo, described the demolition as a welcome development, noting that it sends a strong message that crime will no longer be tolerated in Umuezo Konano or anywhere in Enugu State.
And each time they came back to the community, we started witnessing a lot of insecurity. It's a very big lesson to others, so that if you are involving yourself in any crime, you will know that government will just take serious action on you.
The renewed enforcement drive reflects the administration's broader security reform, which combines intelligence, community policing, and legal enforcement. Authorities are urging residents to support ongoing operations by reporting suspicious movements in their communities. From Umuezo Konano in Nkanu West Local Government Area, Chinemere Mikewunam, Signature TV News.
The Enugu State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, says it has arrested 300 people, confiscated over 15 hectares of farmland with over 37.5 tons of cannabis in the last 1 year. It has also sealed some houses that has been discovered to be the manufacturing hubs for the methamphetamine, popularly known as Murumiri, said to be one of the most abused hard drugs in the southeast. The Assistant Commander General and the Enugu State Commander of the agency, Sunu Ebe Wadai, disclosed this when he paid a courtesy visit to the corporate headquarters of Signature TV at the Raymond Dokbesi Broadcasting House, Thinkers Corner, Enugu. The courtesy call by the entourage from the NDLEA Enugu State Command helped to shed light on the recent wins and accomplishments of the agency in the state. Enugu State Commander of the agency, Sunu Abel Wadai, said the agency destroyed some black spots, impounded some vehicles and motorcycles, and arrested 300 people. Wadai also disclosed that some farmlands where several tons of cannabis were planted were destroyed, while houses where the dangerous drugs were being manufactured are still on the agency's watch list. He said the organization is committed to making Enugu State drug-free and peaceful, stating that one of the core reasons for increase in crime is in the abuse of hard drugs.
Black spots where people gather, smoke, we destroy it, we arrest any other person we can arrest. The other one we can prosecute if you are involved, prosecute you. If you are not involved, we cancel you. Counseling means we educate you on the dangers of what we are doing. I was appointed in May last year. We have arrested over 300 people. Over 300 people were arrested. We have seized close to 3 tons now from that time to this time. 3 tons. This one is with us. We have destroyed farmland in Ite, a village in Enugu, Ite, on that 15 hectares. Then we removed about 72.5 kg for prescription purposes. And the quantity, when they quantified it, is 37.5 tons was destroyed on it. That means 37,500 kilograms was destroyed on that particular farm. Another dangerous place that we have made a lot of arrests is the new market. That market is, there are in thousands of shops. We can get intelligence. Very difficult for us, but we have seen over 1 ton from that place. When I sent the report to the government, you could not believe that this drug is from that place. And where is this drug coming from? From Ondo, from Oshun, all these states coming to Enugu. Enugu is like a gateway. People come in with a drug and sell it, or go to neighboring states like Cross Rivers, Weibo, and then, we have a border there, Cameroon. We have 13 vehicles right now, and 4 motorcycles. They're all in our offices. We have 5 area commands: Ojiriva, Osuka, Night Mile, Ogu, and Enugu State. So these 5 area commands come to us during our meeting and start telling us what is your own achievement within the month.
The NDLEA State Commander further addressed the concept of the drug integrity test and the need for more rehabilitation centers in the state, as the one available currently cannot accommodate all the patients that need to be rehabilitated.
If you look at NDLEA, maybe you are not aware, that's what we call drug integrity test. Drug integrity test means if to take the integrity of the person. What we do in NDLEA is that when we are doing our recruitment, we don't ask you questions because you may not know, a young man may not know who is the governor of Enugu, who is the permanent secretary, who is this. No, is that test. You put your urine inside that smoke, come to the GP inside, within 2 minutes to analyze the type of drug you are using. And that machine analyzes about 15 types of drugs. Our problem is the logistics. We don't have the logistics. It's very expensive. The informer will pay him. And they don't ask for small money. Like this other one will destroy. I know how many millions we have spent on that farm. If we have a lot of problems, give us logistics. One vehicle to the 5 area commands so that we can be going to the hinterland to be preaching. The one that can listen will listen. The one that cannot listen, there's nothing we can do about it.
The president of Signature TV, Vin Martin Obiora-Ilo, appreciated the visit and commended the commitment, sacrifices, and hard work of the NDLEA in the fight against drug abuse in the state. He pledged to partner and support the NDLEA in sensitizing the citizens and communities on the dangers of drug abuse.
We commend your efforts, and I will say that please, I know every day you and your men are exposed to a lot of danger, a lot of risk. But knowing that you are doing this not just for those of us that are adults today, but you're doing it for the future of our country. Because we need to enlighten our people. We need to go to communities and talk. They see it every day. Because none of us here in Nigeria who has a village can claim they don't know what drugs is doing to youths in those small villages. Signature TV will work, partner, collaborate with the NDLEA in Enugu State and in Nigeria.
The visit further strengthened collaboration between Signature TV and the NDLEA as both organizations reaffirmed their shared commitment to promoting a drug-free society through effective communication, public enlightenment, and community engagement. Princess Ken Ochama, reporting for Signature TV News. Residents, business owners, and motorists in Ababanike in Enugu East local government area of Enugu State are appealing to contractors handling the ongoing Ababanike Ugogo Nsukka Road to speed up work on the project. They said the early completion of the project will help realize the desire of the Enugu State government to transform the transportation landscape, boost connectivity and economic growth in the state. Correspondent Ugonne Owalu visited the last bus stop portion of the road, which was closed weeks ago for the construction of a culvert, for an update.
The present administration in Enugu State, at its inception, undertook an ambitious initiative to uplift the state of road construction in the state. This, it believes, will save lives, drive development, and enhance the standard of living of the people. Citizens have expressed their excitement about the project in realization of the place of such infrastructure as the backbone of any thriving economy. However, the apparent slow pace of the project is a source of concern. Ifeanyi Ezeja, a keke rider, called on the government to prevail on the construction company to accelerate the pace of work on the road.
The road have been delaying. The promise he made, they have 3 weeks, but 3 weeks have already reached. They have to be fast. They tell Peter, but Peter was not trying. So he have invested a lot of money in the road. So now we are begging him to act fast so that we will be completed from now to December.
Nebechi Enechi, a public servant, however, acknowledged delay in the project but says the benefit far outweighs the temporary inconveniences.
It has really affected us, but in a nutshell, no gain without pain. That's in a nutshell. No gain without pain. Because this little canal always takes children every year. If they will be able to repair this road now, it will be better for us. No, we are feeling the pain now, but no gain without pain. After this pain, the gain is enormous.
Most time we always have a hold up here in this particular apapa, especially in the evening time. So, but the work is going on, and I think the government is trying their best to make life more easier for people, especially when it comes to movement of people. Ever since they started this construction, movement has not really been easy like that. But we are hopeful that very soon, once it's completed, everything will come back to normal and movement will return back to normal.
Anytime it rains, people find it difficult to pass here. Even if you are in keke, the flood if I almost used to carry keke. I had that we had that anytime every year that the road here, the flood here used to carry somebody. Yes, so what governor is doing now, he's really trying.
The road construction project underscores the Enugu state government's commitment to improving infrastructure and ensuring better living conditions for its citizens. In Enugu, Ugonne Owalu, Signature TV News.
Ivory Coast is scheduled to head to the polls on Saturday. This presidential election is said to have deepened divisions between those supporting incumbent Alassane Ouattara's bid to extend his rule and others calling for new leadership. The election in the world's biggest cocoa-producing states puts Ouattara, 83, against 2 former government ministers, as well as the ex-wife and former spokesperson for his predecessor, Lawrence Gbagbo. Ouattara is the only candidate with the backing of a strong political party, making him the clear favorite. 2 more prominent challengers, Gbagbo and former Credit Suisse CEO Tidjane Thiam, were barred from running. Thiam has said the race was shaping up to be a coronation. Some Abidjan voters were divided over Ouattara's re-election bid in the week leading up to the poll. Some backed his infrastructure work and peace efforts, while others demanded change, citing economic issues and youth representation.
We are happy to have a president like Alassane Ouattara. We are tired of war. Yesterday, we spent all our time fighting wars. Today, young people are tired. We came here to wake up in peace.
In any case, I love what he did. I love everything he's done for me. I love everything, the tarred roads, the bridges, the tunnels, I love it all. Thanks to him, there's no more dirt here. We're grateful to him.
I think he has been the best candidate since 2010, 2011, 2012,
and when you look at how the country has evolved, at the moment, I think he has still only done half the job. There is still a lot to be done. I wish for peace between Ivorians.
And that's it on the program for this week. I am Princess Ken Nachoma. Thanks for watching and see you next week.